Hello, trading is closed on April 7, 2016. Let's go over yesterday's call. I said an all-day rally starting from a low such as we had yesterday was normally positive and typically it would continue. I said if it continued, I had some price targets. I also have a standard rule that says if we gap strongly in the undesired direction, which is what happened, that the call is dead before the open. So that one died before the open. I considered calling this a wall into the close, which typically is met by a gap down. I don't know, it just didn't look that impressive to me. Maybe I should have paid more attention to it. If that is a wall, typically the gap fills and we find resistance over this high relatively quickly. I know that sounds implausible after today's action, but let's take a look. Which we'll do in just a minute. We also said that there was a MEJT target of 2043.40. This gap was not in the undesired direction, so it remained a valid target. This low was within 0.03. That's enough to satisfy it, but the actual target usually prints at some point, which happened here, and you can see how the level is a support resistance area, which is what MEJT targets are. There's a MEJT target most likely to print tomorrow of 2049.73. Well, during the day, there was an ultimate sell signal here that worked. MEJT says the drop is false and says we will trade to this blue line most likely tomorrow, 2049.73. This, I think, is a good time to explain just how one uses the MEJT system. Let's look at yesterday's action. Here's a sell signal. Here's an ultimate sell signal. When you get signals like that, in most systems you want to go short, but that's not what sell and ultimate sell in MEJT means. It means there are targets at lower prices. The ultimate sell signal has a target here. It's color-coded. The regular sell signal, which would be strong if the move were immediate, originally was at this price and then changed to this price when the move was delayed. So all these signals say is we're going to go slightly lower at some point in the next 2 days. If you're negative because of other reasons, it certainly gives you the okay to go ahead. But if you're not, there really is no trade at this point. The picture changes after a large rally, which the system says is false, and the market starts dropping. A new support resistance level is given, and the system gives one a reasonable minimum target for the drop and predicts there'll be some support under it. Most signals, they get a payoff right when they happen. For MEJT, the larger potential profit comes when the signal is far away. And that's the situation we have now. We have a move which has been called to be false for a few hours, and it gives us a reasonably higher target. Some other positive indicators are that we gapped down, dropped all day, and we couldn't close under the middle of the day low. Unless we gap down or at least trade under this low promptly, it usually leads to higher prices. I think 2049.73 is a reasonable target for tomorrow. And if this really is a hole in the wall, a gap, then these targets, maybe not tomorrow, but soon thereafter, aren't out of range. Here's a stilt, here's a stilt, here's a diamond. This is the first challenge. Don't do that to me. This is the first challenge of the origin of the left stilt. Usually when it's re-challenged, it breaks in grand style, but when the re-challenge is this close, it turns out all to be part of the same challenge. Usually this holds. Doesn't have to, but usually it does. The real question is whether this DeMark sell signal is going to work. I'm not convinced yet. This is the triangle we've shown a few times. We showed how when you set the height of the triangle equal to 100%, that the recent high was right at the 38%, right at the 38.2% level. Let's look at some other stuff. The 161.8% level was right at this low. The 200% level was right at that low. Here's 223.6. I mean, right on the nose. Here's 261.8. Can't do better than that. So this is all part of a large Fibonacci pattern, and all we've accomplished is that we have retraced to the 61.8% level. So all we've accomplished in this backing and filling is filling out the support resistance levels in the grid. This is a critically important level at today's low. If we take this out promptly and gap under it, I don't see a chance of recovery, and we should hit 1971.75. But if we don't drop, I'm looking for 2049.73 at least, and perhaps soon thereafter targets in the 2070s, and that is today's call.